According to Rand Water GCEO Sipho Mosai, South Africans will have to adapt and change their attitude as climate change continues to reduce the world's water resources annually. Speaking at a Rand Water seminar, Mosai says infrastructure maintenance would be ineffective if a consumer's mindset towards water isn't changed. SABC News reporter Ofentse Setimo has more for us.
South Africa is a water-scarce country. Now, water utility Rand Water has assembled a seminar to try and exploit the opportunities and challenges that are brought about by this issue. I am joined now by Mr. Sipho Mosai, the GCEO, to elaborate a bit further on why they decided to assemble here today. Thank you so much for your time, sir. Why is it important to assemble this particular seminar today?
Yeah, the objective of today's seminar is to really talk about water security in South Africa. And when, gathered here to engage professionals across the length or breadth of, if you like, the water sector spectrum and beyond, to put our heads together to ensure water security going forward. We really today want to focus on climate change, the impact that it has on the security going forward, of course, the infrastructure and the quality of water that we are providing or is provided in South Africa. Beyond that, we're going to talk about the roles of stakeholders and institutions, even beyond the water sector, that they can play to ensure water is secure going forward. Just in terms of climate change, of course, we are starting to see serious climate variability in terms of flooding, in terms of droughts. How do we build resilient infrastructure to talk about that going forward? But most importantly, how can we, all of us, adapt to this changing environment? So we believe that this engagement will go a long way in ensuring that we deal with the water security issues, not only in the now, but in the long term. And we thought it will be a brilliant idea for us to have this, what we call Rand Water Talks. And then we talk with a wide spectrum of professionals in this space.
Absolutely. And there was wide talks about, a crisis of water shortage leading up to this particular summer. And the Lesotho Highlands project as well has sort of exacerbated the situation itself, with Gauteng saying that almost 40% of water is actually being lost, due to leaks and all sorts of issues related to infrastructure. How do we grapple with such challenges at the moment? Again,
how do we deal with the challenges? We need to adapt. We need to build resilient infrastructure, because going forward, you don't know what is going to happen. We need to look and secure the water that we are able to secure in the short term and make sure that we go about with what we have sustainably. We need to do more with the little that we have, precisely because even if you build dams, those dams can run dry. We have seen it in other parts of the world, that it's just not about building dams. It's not about just adding infrastructure, which is extremely important. That is why we have in Rand Water life cycle asset management strategy to continuously meet the growing demands. But I think what we need to get into with that understanding is into the culture of ensuring that we use the little that we have and stretch it so that we use it sustainably going forward. So in essence, in Gauteng, as we have been indicating, the issue is not the resource. The issue is not water in the dams. We believe that there is enough water that goes about for everybody. The no-drop report that has been produced by the department late last year indicates exactly that. The issues is water efficiency, the fixing of the leaks, dealing with illegal connections and the need to regularize that, encroachment on pipes, and those are the issues that are impacting in the water supply challenges that we currently have. They need to be dealt with and then they need to be tackled, because as you indicate, non-revenue water and physical losses in Gauteng is at 33%, which is about 1.6, 1.7 billion liters of water that is lost. So that needs to be attended to. But as we attend to that, we need to think long term. What are we going to do? Where is the water coming from? Where is the water going to come from? After we build the dams and then there's flooding, what do we do? After we build the dams and there's drought, what do we do? So we want to engage fellow professionals around navigating and meandering against that difficult environment.
Absolutely. An illegal connection to a certain extent has reduced pressure in some sectors. We know that in Mamelodi there was a situation where, people actually illegally connected to the reservoir and the water could not reach the people that are actually paying for it. And at the same time, these people also feel entitled to such services. We know that there was a protest, I believe, sometime this week where Rand Water went, in fact, it was Joburg Water that went to go and disconnect. So how do you ensure that your officials are also safe when going to go and disconnect some of these illegal connections?
Yeah, it's a very difficult one to meander. Firstly, everybody's got a right to basic water, but it has to be regularized, it has to be structured, it has to be planned for, and the connections have to be metered, have to be known. So if there are illegal connections, then you don't know how much water. It reduces the pressure. High-lying areas invariably don't. So I think we have seen in many municipalities, as you indicate, in Tshwane specifically, as soon as they dealt with illegal connections, there was enough water into the system. And then the next step is to regularize those connections, because everybody has got a right to access to water. And of course, we are seeing, people are raising concerns that what's going to happen to us. And the issue, it's not that the municipalities don't want people to have access to water. They say, let's find a way of regularizing. We cannot just connect to the infrastructure. It inconveniences the others, but most importantly, it's actually very dangerous. And that's where most of the water is lost, because it's not professionally done. So I think we need to deal with the illegal connections and find a way of regularizing it so that we don't have wastages. And then I think we're happy that the municipalities is attending to that so that water is equitably shared.
Thank you very much. Well, as you can hear, that's Rand Water GCEO, Mr. Sipho Mosai, actually saying that, the illegal connections are some of the big issues that are affecting the pressure of water leading up to water not reaching, actually paying clients for Rand Water. He's saying that, these are some of the issues that they will definitely have to tackle in order to ensure that water provision is sustainable.